let's talk, like you were talking about before we started about the mental health game, and so let's just take you back to when you were in the team, because when we were talking about that, I could totally relate. I've had kind of not so, I don't know what the word is for it, but such great experiences with within like a couple different teams I was on. It wasn't for cycling or anything, it was ultimate frisbee, but at a high level. And yeah, so let's talk about your experience. Like, just take us through your career.
Yeah, so when juniors was over, I got selected to the Nextgen team on the track, which at the time was run by Cam Jennings. He was like an Australian coach that they'd hired, and I actually knew him from Edmonton, so he already knew me when he added me to the team. And he was a really good coach. He like really definitely took a chance on me, and like a lot of other athletes, he gave opportunities to that like I don't think would really be given to athletes these days. So that was really great. But the team at the time didn't have the best chemistry, and I think a lot of that was informed by just like not by people feeling a bit stifled. I think the Nextgen team at that time, it was like super early in the Nextgen program, and we didn't do any races. We only trained. We had like weird schedules that made us like away from home all the time, but didn't really build to anything. And yeah, and then just like kind of like our program didn't have much money. Like, you know, it was just always like we were kind of an afterthought. And not that people, you know, there was definitely people who were working hard for us and that sort of thing. But I think that those are kind of what informed the like attitude in the team. And it wasn't supportive. It wasn't like inspiring. It wasn't like the whole point of a Nextgen team is to like help lift people up to the next level and help develop athletes, but also like people, because everyone in the team's pretty young, or just like at least young in their careers in cycling. So yeah, it wasn't the greatest, and that was hard because I thought, oh, this is just how it is, like this is just what it's like to be an athlete and to be a cyclist, is like you just get pooed on all the time and you never get any chances to do anything. Like it's never good enough. Nothing's ever good enough. So that was kind of a rocky start, but Cam decided to move back to Australia. And so there was this whole summer where nobody on the Nextgen team actually had a coach. And so that was interesting. That was actually a really fun summer. I learned a lot. I had to do everything by myself. I had to be like, okay, it says on my schedule, because he made like a skeletal schedule before he left. Like, I'm supposed to go to this race, and then I'd like email Cycling Canada and I'd be like, Cam said that I'm supposed to do this race. Can you guys like help me figure out how to get there? And like host housing by myself. And I didn't have a road team either. So like Super Week that year, Nationals that year.
Like, how do you get there? Like, you have, did they help you at all, or did you have to pay for everything?
No, I didn't have to pay for too much of it, because they're like, okay, yeah, we don't know what to do with you. And I think they weren't paying a coach at the time, so they had like a bit of money to like to like pay for race fees or something. So that was really nice, that part anyways. But it was definitely like a time of growing independence. But it was very like, guys, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Nobody's here to tell me what to do. Like, I'm just kind of floating around, whatever. So then Jenny is hired as the coach, and it's great. We're all excited to work with her, but she has some like big changes in mind, and it's a little bit scary because I'm used to like an environment being like the training environment being a certain way, and she like came in and she's like, okay, everybody has to like be positive and like say one good thing that happened in that like team pursuit trial or whatever. And I'd be like, well, it was horrible, it went terrible. And she'd be like, and like it took me a while to like figure out that like being competitive and being like caring a lot about what you're doing and like trying to reach the highest level you can doesn't have to be exclusive of being positive and being like uplifting of your teammates and having fun. Like they actually work better if you do them together.
Well, this
So
is actually a super positive experience. Like you go from
yeah, that was
like
good.
here to up here.
That was good, but it kind of started to go downhill from then, and that's kind of when the mental spiral really started. And I've like done enough like digging into it now to like see that there was like a lot happening that I didn't really like know about at the time, like well, like mentally and physically within myself, that kind of also contributed to kind of like rock bottom, if you will. But so essentially in 2018 I had a really, really good season, and it was after like a few years of pretty hard training. I was like hitting all these really great numbers. Everything was going really well, and
was that with Jenny?
Yeah, that was with Jenny.
Okay.
And because of that, I got asked to do more and more races for the national team.